Arguing is not from the Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And the famous hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he mentions that the one who leaves an argument, the one that just leaves, and this is the etiquette, that this is the Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that he teaches us, that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he says that the one, meaning teaching us the Sunnah, that he says the one who leaves an argument, I promise him paradise. I promise him a palace within paradise, in a narration. Meaning that the action of leaving an argument is praiseworthy. The action of leaving and stepping away from an argument is success. Leaving an argument is success. Dialoguing and continuing in an argument is failure. If you fall into an argument, and this happens when you realize this, that many people, they don't even realize that they're in an argument. Think to yourself that when you talk, this is why you should think before you talk. You should think before you speak. Think before you speak. Use your brain. And this is why before this we have many gatherings on how to protect the brain. Why? Because if you don't protect the brain, then the brain will make commands for us to say things that are not appropriate, that we don't use the brain properly. This is why you protect the brain from vaping. You protect the brain from excessive TikTok. You protect the brain from too much use of social media. You protect the brain from intoxication. Why? Because then when you don't protect, you damage the brain, then you damage your diet, your speech, and then you're unable to know what you're saying or what you're not saying. But the Prophet ﷺ has taught us an action which is praiseworthy. If somebody was to say to you that I promise you £1 million, that every single time there's an argument that takes place and you stop arguing and you leave the argument, how many people here would never argue in their life? Forget about £1 million. If somebody said £1,000, all of us would stop arguing. Forget about £1 million, £1,000 people will stop arguing. The Prophet ﷺ has promised us that which is more valuable than £1 million. The Prophet ﷺ has promised us a palace in Jannatul Firdaus, in the gardens of paradise, for the one when he argues, when an argument breaks out, that he leaves the argument. This is from the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ.